Hello everybody and welcome to Kit 4, which is the beautiful pop-up butterfly card. A slight change just to the cover sheet. It still gives you all the details of what I've used and where you can buy it. But on the reverse, you've got the templates. I'll go through that shortly, but I'm just going to go through what else is in your kit. So this is the lovely card that we're going to make. I've done this as a Christmas card, so it has got text on which is actually jingle bells. So for yours, I am using the lovely leaves, but I'll say what they are in a moment. I'm using John Next Door JND 517, which is the scalloped wreath, which is beautiful and so useful for these designs. And also Nellie's Choice leaves. They don't really look Christmassy, although it's from her Scandinavian Christmas collection. They can be used at any time, and I just love it. It's a beautiful 3D folder, and it really does. It's so crisp when it's done. You will have your peel-offs, which we'll go onto those later. Pop those to a side. And these are my designs that I've chosen for this one. But you will have your backing paper. Those two pieces are cut, but you will need to cut, which I'll show you, these next bits. Pop those to a side. And that is the beautiful embossed. If you can see that, how deep it is, it's beautiful. So I've got my backing card and the two pieces of the lovely wreath. Now, what I have done on mine, let's move that to a side, which I found when I'm putting it together, whoops, let me get it over. Matching the scallops isn't always that easy. If you're worried that you're not going to be able to, these are easy to cut off because there's just a little line just below the scallops. And if you follow that with your scissors, it's easy to do. But don't worry, I'm going to leave mine on for this one. Pop that to a side. We need to go on to our template. And what I've done is I've already scored the coloured card. Yours obviously will be different coloured to mine. But these pieces are 5 centimetres wide by 16 centimetres long. And we score them at 4, 8 and 12. So the 4 centimetre sections. That we then fold in the middle and burnish well. Turn it over, burnish well, turn it over and do the other one and burnish well. And so that they open and close fluidly, it's not really a word, is it? But like fluid. I just reverse mine and it makes them move a lot smoother. Now we're going to go on to the white piece. What I want to point out, get my pencil when I find where I put it. This 5 centimetres here is 5 centimetres from the centre point. I've missed out putting that. So I'm going to get my scoring board up and I am going to just mark. So 5, 6, 7, 8. Just put a little dot. So we now want to work. We put that. So 5 centimetres from 8. We want to work it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put a dot there. If you want to check, just place another ruler at that point. So you can see the centre point now is on 5. And the mark I've just made at this point is on 0. We also need to turn this round and repeat that. So again, we want to mark the centre 5, 6, 7, 8, and then count back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and mark. And again, you can double check to make sure that you've got the 5 centimetres. Before we go on to mark the other, I am just going to sew the centre score line, which is straight down the middle, at 2.5 centimetres. So 1, 2, 2.5. So taking that down like that. Just let me move this for the moment. Whoa, what have I thrown on the floor? My bone folder. Right. So what I need to mark now is the 1.2 centimetres. So from your centre point, I'm putting my 0 on the centre point. If I hold it up, I am putting the 0 on the centre point, and then I shall mark 1.2 centimetres on both sides. So, oops, let me get that lined up straight. So now I'm going to bring up my scoring board again, and we're going to score these. So I have mine marked my centre line, which I find is so much easier. So I'm going to put my first 5 centimetre mark at the top onto the line and match it up with the bottom one, and whoops, score straight down. And then, oops, the fingers don't hurt. These are the 2 shorter ones, so you line up those 2 dots. That's your centre, and it's the one just past there on each side. And that's those 2 scored. So what we need to do now, bring your bone folder in. We need to fold and burnish well on all of these. Oops, let me get it right. And that one. So that again, they move smoothly. Let's move them all onto the other, turn them the other way, should I say. Get my teeth back in. And what we need to do now is, it comes up like that. Nip these 2 at either end like that and pull together. So they'll position there like that. Oops. Get it down and score well on all sides. So that then will open so done that there. So I'm going to just leave that under a weight to just keep it folded, and we're going on to this piece next. As I said, each of these are 4 centimetres by 5 centimetres. So what we need to do is cut some of the smaller bits of paper, which is here. Don't need that small bit, but I'm going to cut off 3.5 centimetre pieces. So 3.5, 7, 14. So if I cut off first of all, it'll make it a bit easier. So cut off 7 and cut it down to 4.5. So instead of doing, this is on the 5 centimetre one, and then cut this in half again to 3.5. And so then we'll have these to position on the card. So again, cutting this piece to 7 just makes it a little bit easier, and you can actually choose where you want your pattern to be. And again, so I've taken those bits, we don't need them, so I can pop those to a side. And again, cut this down to 3.5. So that's those. Oops. So I'm going to stick these onto here, and then these are going to dry while we go on to the next bit. And just using ordinary wet glue. Whoops. Now you can use either side, whichever you want. So actually it might be nice. No, I think I'll have the lighter side. So again, just a bit of glue round the edges. Don't need a lot, just stick my finger in that. And just centre it nicely onto each panel. And you'll all have matching backing paper. I've tried to match it up as well as I can, so I hope they'll all be okay for you. Again, just positioning it like that. And again, just round the edge. And as I say, just allows these to dry for when we start to use them further along in the process. It's just the same as we would if we were putting the flowers together at the beginning, to allow them to dry properly. So I'm going to leave that there to a side now, just to dry. And I'm going to now pop my lovely wreath on. And again, just you could, if you've got spray glue, I would recommend using spray glue. But I know you don't all have spray glue, so I am using the wet glue on this. And it does actually give you just that little bit of leeway when you're positioning. But it's entirely up to you which method you use. So I'm just going round the centre now. I just want a narrow line of glue. It doesn't want a lot, doesn't want flooding. If there's any little areas that you may think just want a bit of extra glue, just add it. It doesn't want a lot, just a bit like that. And then, where's my tweezers? Hold this and bring the backing piece in, and if you line up with your scallops, that's if you leave your scallops on. I have done this time, but on the other one I actually cut the scallops off, and I can't see that it really, if you have a look on this, I cannot see that it really makes any difference. The only thing is that you may get a shadow line on the outside, but that's entirely up to you. So that again, now that'll dry while we're waiting. And we are now going, where's my card? That's it. And we are going to make sure I get the card right. What I'm going to do, and again, this is entirely up to you. If you've got an ink pad that is very similar in colour to the designs that is in your kit, what I've done is, on mine, actually just show you on the sample card, I just tipped the edges of the white, but it's not necessary. I'm just going to do it maybe aren't, because this might be actually dried off. It might get a bit off it, so, but you just want to flick it around the edge. I'm using the distressing, on mine I'm using the fired brick, because that was the closest colour to what I was using. And just working round, just takes the stark edge off, but it is not essential. I just thought it finished the card off, really, just giving a bit of an edging. And it doesn't matter if you get some splodges on the edge, it all blends in. And that's that. Quickly go around the other one. Oh, don't know where that's come from. And I just hope you're enjoying these pop-up cards as much as I am. There's some beautiful ones, some beautiful designs. Trying to work out whether or not I can work lights in. At the moment I haven't been successful on, I have on the topper, but I'm thinking of trying to work them in on the inside, but I just got a little bit more. I've done a prototype which I'm not happy with, put it that way. But I'd certainly like to give it a try later on if we can. So, right, so that's just done the red around the edges. Now, the white goes on the inside. So again, we need to use our glue. But if you wish, you can use double-sided tape. It's what you're comfortable using on your cards. I must admit, I tend to always go for glue, but it's not essential. I always say use whatever you're comfortable using. Don't, just because I'm using wet glue doesn't mean to say that you've got to use wet glue. It's just what you feel happy using. So just pop your card central like that. Do the other piece on the other side. And then we'll pop the backing paper on next. Because it's with the pop-ups, it's best to complete the centre, the inside of your card first. Actually, I think I put that wrong way around. Do it that way. Oops, come down. That's better. There's just a very, very slight variance on these cards. Oops, I've got a bit of fluff there. Now, you can decide how you want to do these. I'm thinking that I might do mine that way. It's not that you can read the text, but it just seems as if the text follows on. And don't need a great deal of glue on the paper. So that again will just fit nicely in like that. Oops, I slithered that round. Better. Bit heavy-handed there. this bit on that side. Again, whoops, again, a bit heavy-handed. Right. While that's drying, we can actually put the top, don't know where that bit keeps coming from, these two pieces together onto the front. So pop the red on first. Oops, I'll have to be filling this up again. There is no foam tape on this card. I decided that it was just as easy and it looked just as good without the foam tape. Oops, that's it. And then I'm putting the embossed piece on. And make sure that you do get a continuous line around the edge, because some of it will drop into the debossed areas. Just a squiggle in the middle, and try and balance this fairly evenly, and that will there nicely settle. Right, so now we need to just take our scissors, and this point here, we just need to take a fraction, and I mean a fraction, so that when you open it, there's just a little hole in the middle. So what we need to do is we need to place, if you can see, that centre point there, level in the middle. Make sure that the card will fold over. Don't know what happened there. It went a bit odd. I hope I haven't missed anything. Just in case, I'm going to take this piece now. I've cut a little bit off the centre there. So you've got just a small hole in the middle. That just makes it easier to line up with the centre line. Make sure that it folds over evenly. What we're going to do is we are going to add glue, just, if you can see, just on this triangle here. Don't let any go onto that bit, just on this triangle here. I will show you where I put the glue in a minute. I will lift it up so you can see where I've put glue. So if you can see, it's just on that triangle there. And centre, line it up, hold it flat, and make sure that it folds over, and just hold for a moment. Turn the whole card over before you open it, and hold this down, and we're doing to the same on this. If you can see, I just want to put glue on this long narrow triangle, and I am going to just hold this down the outer edges while I fold my card over. And again, turn it over. And if it's possible, put a weight on it. That is the best thing to do. So if you just bear with me one minute, I'm just going to have a quick drink. While that's drying off, I am going to bring in my topper. I will have also mentioned for you to get your butterflies cut out prior to starting the kit, but the construction, should I say. but I will get round to that in a moment. That will have been put up on the video. I'm just going to trim the rough edge off my topper. If I move that over a bit. And I thought that was lovely, seeing as Mother's Day is coming up. So let's move that across. On your wreath, you've got 2 lines across. Now you can, if you wish, make those your top and bottom points. I like the double little, I don't know really what they are. They look like coffee beans to me, but I think the flowers, leaves actually, but I like them to be at the centre. And you want to position where you want it to go. Right, so if you see where you want it to go, all I'm going to do is just run a narrow ring of glue round, just round the centre of the underside of the wreath on your coloured side. And again, bring my design in, make sure that I've got the top and the bottom centred, and before I flatten it down completely, I position it where I want it to be and hold it like that. Now, if there's any little bit sticking out, you can undercut these and they won't be seen. So that there is all nice and flat and ready to go on. I'm starting to be more conscious of postage, especially with it going up this month. It's ridiculous. So we need to try and keep things as much to a standard letter size, but obviously we'll have to see how things go. That can just go to a side for a moment to dry. So this is where we want to work. That actually isn't opening well. I don't know why that hasn't opened well. I hope that hasn't slipped. It's maybe just slipped in the centre. That I'm really disappointed about that, because it shouldn't have done. No, I'm disappointed because that has actually just moved slightly off the centre. And what I should have done, and I've omitted, I should have, while it was wet, I should have run my scoring tool in just to make sure that it was fully folded down. Well, let's go in. Yes, it's slipped, and that is my fault. It should have opened easier than that, because as you can see on this one, that opens really well, and it's gone right in to the centre. And I feel sorry about that, really sorry. Anyway, we'll go on from there now and add the red strip on. Line it up top and bottom. Whoops, like that. I think the reason is I've probably cut that white fractionally bigger, and that is my fault. What we need to do now is, remember, it's the, now just bear with me one moment. Is it the top first? Bear with me. Yes, I am right. So when we fold this, you can see you fold this top, once you've got it lined up on your card, fold this back. We want to put glue just on this side but it mustn't go over onto that. So we must draw the imaginary line just down there, which is in line with the fold. Fold over and just hold it. Pop the weight on, turn it round, put the bottom one up, and this time we're doing it on the bottom one. So we're doing it on the opposite one at the other end. I've just cut it fractionally bigger. That's maybe why it hasn't gone down flat. And that yours will be. It's just that I cut one there, and I marked it wrong, and I rushed to cut another one, and I think I've just cut it fractionally bigger. But I can cover that. Yours won't be. So just want to make sure that this will fold in